Thanks for your support as a channel member, Comrift. And so we reached the end of Season 1 of the Bourne Legacy. We've obviously got promoted. You saw that in the last video. If you didn't, spoilers for like 10 seconds ago. You should watch the episodes in order. It's weird that you don't. But yeah, we are playing the final couple of games of the season, preparing for life in the United Counties League Premier Division and starting to accumulate an awful lot of strikers. If all of that sounds like a lot of fun, let's make sure we leave some nice big thumbs ups on the video. 2,000 likes today would be splendid. 2,000 likes to celebrate a promotion seems entirely reasonable. Hello and welcome to part 7 of the Bourne Legacy. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have our final 2 games of the season. We're at home against both Huntingdon and Melton. Since you were last with me, we have continued our good form, defeat against Blackstones aside. We secured the championship, the title. We won the league. And as you can see, there we are, 98 points, 76 is our goal difference. With 2 games to play, we should break through the 100 points barrier. Matter is second for the top scorers behind this guy, Liam Fitzpatrick. I'm not going to sign him because he's old, and we've moved away from our dad's army policy over the course of the season, he says, with Chris Schuker, age 37, as the top assist maker in the division. But we don't want any more of that. We want Matter to push past him over the next couple of matches. As you can see, we've got Morris and Matter up there as two of the 3 best players in the division. Morris for most man of the match awards, which is mad in a team that contains Matter. Winterton top of the clean sheets, but obviously has since moved on. He's already moved up a division, I think. Is that a division or 2 divisions? I'm not sure where the Isthmian League is. That might be 2 or 3 divisions up. But either way, he's still going to finish as top clean sheet maker in this league this year. And there have been even more signings since you were last with me. Let's start with the players released, because there's a few names on there that are reasonably significant. So we've said goodbye to Matt Bailey, who's one of the defenders we brought in when we thought we were losing defenders, and then we didn't lose the defenders because they chose not to leave, so we've just let him go again. Koo has left on the same basis, just no reason. He never really got a chance in the team. He looked like he was going to be a decent player, but of his 20 appearances, only one of them was a start. And it was just unnecessary money. And Dolby has gone as well, 20 years old, scored 1 goal in 13 games for us, has 1 goal in 1 game for North Ferriby. So it looks like he's found his level there. But we let him go because we've brought in more attacking players. If we have a look at the new players who've arrived, you saw Searson Smithard, the new goalkeeper, came in the last episode from Melton. And then we've signed 3 more players. Kel Akpabire, who I think I've had in non-league to legend before. I'm really surprised to be able to get a player of this kind of quality at a team like Bourne. 4.5-star current ability, 5-star potential ability. Up there as good as Morris and Matter. And remember, Maja is one of the top scorers in this division as well. But he's come in from Bristol City, which is mad. And then we've got a couple of fullbacks. Sam Muggleton is another very good, not quite as young as I thought he was when I started that sentence, but 24 years old, 3-star current ability. And he's the main reason we let Koo go. And then Andy Jackson, this is the guy I thought I was describing before, 20-year-old right back. So the other guy was the left back. They're not both right backs, surely. No, he's the left back. Let's get this right. And he's the right back. He's the reason Koo was released. 5-star current ability. One of the best players at the club, if not the best player at the club now, star rating wise. And he was at Blackburn. And we've managed to sign him. He's not going to be here long, presumably. In fact, is he showing? Yeah, key player, Andy Jackson. Absolutely insane that we've been able to bring him in. And we did sign Fortunate Sitole as well, who's our hot prospect for the future. We brought him in the last episode. So this is what our team looks like now as we go into the game against Huntingdon. And we've got Searson Smithard in goal, a back 4 of Muggleton, Parr, Hughes and Jackson. A completely new look back 4 to where we were just a couple of episodes ago. And so even though those defenders who were looking to leave didn't leave, we replaced them all, and I'm happy to let them go now, and they will go in the summer probably. Sitole, I think it's probably Sitoli, isn't he? Isn't it Sitoli, Joyce and Matsunga in midfield, and then Mata, Akpabire and Morris up front. Poor old Maja just sat down there on the bench. But also on the bench, rather excitingly, we've got young Steve Edwards, who's one of our own, who's going to sit on the bench today as well. We've got no reason. We've got nothing to lose. There's no reason not to stick a youngster on the bench. I think he's probably the only player left from episode 1 at this point, and it's only episode 7. But everybody else who was here, I think, has since moved on. But we did identify him as the best youngster back in episode 1, and now he's got the chance to play for us. Which, you know, in an alternate universe, he'd have been just a little bit better, and he'd have played 40 games and scored 40 goals. And done a bit of a Mick Powell or Sir Anthony Harris. But alas, 'twas not to be. So what we're looking for here, we want goals for Mata. We want points on the board. We want to set a points target that's never going to get beaten in this league. Both us and Blackstones are already promoted. But if we can win our last couple of games with a bunch of goals from Mata, then we just take a clean sweep of awards in a league that, I mean, let's face it, if this series goes to plan, we're never going to play in again, so we may as well set some records now. Morris has got his 22nd of the season now, and I tell you what, James Morris, as soon as we switched him up to playing as that advanced forward, he has been absolutely incredible. Wasted him for the first half of the season, trying to play him in a support striker role alongside Mata, when really they were both so good. We should have just set them both free earlier on. And now they are both free. I think Morris has probably outscored Mata in the second half of this season. I'm sure anyone who's really interested in finding out could go back and compare their goal tallies in like episode 3 or 4 and see where they both were. But I suspect Morris has considerably outscored Mata in the second half of the season, because he is just absolutely scoring for fun. That was less fun. We've just given the ball away at right back, despite having our fancy new right back out there. And Huntingdon have got the chance to get in a bit of an attack against us. But there is Jackson, showing why he's now considered the best player at a club that Mata plays for. And Akpabire is clear. Mata's up alongside him, and Akpabire should have scored. I remember him. I remember him now. I mean, he wasn't playing at this level then, though, was he? So, you know, he'll be all right, maybe. Oh, right, let's guard against complacency. Oh, and then not pause the game and hope that my voice holds out until I feel like I'm losing my voice now. It will hopefully hold out until the end of the episode. But if it does start to disappear, then I'm just going to do the last part of the episode using my own version of sign language. I don't know any official sign language, but I'll just do like manager waves and you'll get an idea. If I do this, I'm happy. If I do that, which is, I mean, it's similar. 2 hands, happy. 1 hand, angry. They're basically the 2 hand symbols that you need to know. Morris is in again here, though, and that's his 23rd of the season. And he's not really following the script, because it's supposed to be Mata getting all of the goals today. I'm all for Morris getting himself into goal-scoring positions, but once he's there, he should be waiting for Mata to catch up with him and just setting it up on a plate for Mata as we try and get him the top scorer's award. But apparently Morris wants it. Morris is going to try and get it for himself. He's only, 8 or 9 goals behind at this point, with a game and a half still to play. It's not impossible. Look, he is trying to do it all on his own. If that had gone in, I might have just that might have been my retirement from YouTube moment, because it's never getting any better than that. That would have been superb for a tier 10 player to be able to do what Morris attempted to do there. Thankfully, he didn't do it, because I mean, it sets the bar too high for the future if he's doing stuff like that now. I'm very impressed with Huntingdon, by the way, who brought 15 fans all the way to Bourne. I mean, that's a good 50-minute journey. And for 15 people, that's like 3 or 4 cars. There's going to be parking problems outside the Abbey lawn today. And there is Mata with his 35th goal of the season. I'm so excited about it, I can barely get the words out. Akpabire involved, and I like Akpabire in there. He's almost playing as an attacking midfielder. This is the closest I've been to the trademark 4-3-1-2 in about 2 years, because Akpabire playing as that pressing forward does drop back between those two, and it almost becomes the 4-3-1-2 that was my trademark for like 2 years here on YouTube. And I like it. I approve of it. Edwards is going to have to come on and make his debut in central midfield, which isn't ideal, but what are you going to do, eh? We're going to bring Maja on and keep him playing that pressing forward role that Akpabire's been doing. I know Maja would want to be a poacher, but, You don't always get what you want. I want him dropping back between the two of them. I want the goals coming from the two wider ones. If we have the middle one pushed up too far, then he tends to be the focus of the goals and the other two drift further out wide. Morris is in looking for his hat-trick. Should have squared it to Mata, who was right there, ready to tuck it away and reassume his position at the top of the top goal scorers chart. But Morris is a greedy rascal. That's why we've had to put a player between them to separate them. It's the only way to get them to stop fighting over goals. Cross comes in. Muggleton does clear. Not to a Bourne shirt though, which is troublesome. And now they're in again, and they do score this time. And I'm noticing not having Winterton in goal. I'm missing him, and I think as much as this new guy he came in and did a job. I don't think he's going to be the keeper we go into next season with. I think we probably do need to look to upgrade there. There's a couple of positions we need to upgrade, and obviously it is going to depend a little bit on which of our players get stolen away by other clubs, because I think any club not trying to sign Mata or Morris he should have squared for Morris there. But if those two are still here at the start of next season, there's teams around us not paying attention, because they should be able to steal those players away the way we've been able to steal players away. Especially because looking at that Media Dream 11, because I had this crazy idea of just trying to sign everyone on it, just for fun, just to amuse myself. But but the two remaining players on that Media Dream 11 that I haven't signed yet are both on over £300 a week on part-time contracts at their clubs. They're actually being paid weekly wages, and that's more than that. Well, that's almost as much as our entire wage budget for the club. So if someone was to come in and offer Mata like £200 a week, that's money he could only dream of at the moment playing for us, even with the pay rise that he had when it looked like he might be leaving, because there was a couple of clubs came in for him, so he bumped his appearance fee up to £75 an appearance rather than 20. But even so, if someone was able to offer him an actual contract where he doesn't even have to play to earn his money, he'd be mad not to go. I'll show you what I mean in a second, just to make sure I've not gone mad. I want you to fact check for me and just make sure I wasn't misreading this, because I was baffled by it. But if we go to there's probably an easier way to navigate to this, but so there's most of them are ours now. But if we look at Gilchrist, he's earning £375 a week at Melton. How are they paying him £375 a week? He's one of only two players they're giving money to. But what's their thought process there? And then if we have a look at, I think one of these, it might have been him. No, he's one we could sign, but I decided I didn't want to because we're not using wingers. But he's another one. Ayleston Park. He's earning £325 a week playing for them. We're already coming up. I mean, look at the state of that. This is a club in our division. Look at the salaries they're paying. How can they afford to do that? Secure. They must have a major sugar daddy. Okay. They had a tycoon takeover in September and turned professional immediately. Wow. Keep an eye on Ayleston Park, folks. I get the feeling they're going to be travelling up through the leagues with us. Let's go play the final game of the season. Just the one change for the final game of the season then. Liam Francis coming back into the team, probably for the final time, to captain the team for the final time. But I want one of the guys who was here right at the start in the team on the last day of the season. I don't know that any of the rest of them were. I guess Mata is probably the one who's been here longest, but he wasn't here until 4 or 5 games into the season. And I still don't understand why Ayleston Park haven't signed him, because just offer him, I mean, we're giving him £75 a game. Offer him £100 a week and he'll go. I don't think, if you're Jaffet Mata, I don't think you're interested in showing any particular loyalty to Bourne because you think we're going places. You just, you're playing in tier 10. Just go where you can earn the most money. There you go. We're the favourites here. Go out and give a performance, blah, 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 blah. I think, sure, yeah, but for him, surely any thoughts he had of ever being a professional footballer, surely anybody playing at this level isn't doing it with a view to, I might get back up to the Football League. I might be able to do this for a living. if he can get anyone to pay him any decent amount of money to play, he'll go and play for them, surely. So I might go to Alston Park and just see how much fun it is operating a professional club in Tier 10, throwing that kind of money around. It would be insane. Right, Melton are down to 10 men. They're another one who've got their one or two players who are earning actual money. I think it's the defender Gibson. I didn't even notice if he was playing. Oh, Gilchrist, that's him, isn't it? So he's the one who they're paying him almost as much as we pay our entire squad. So I'm expecting big things from him with our 3 superstar strikers coming up against him. Godbold is another one who's been in and out of that media Dream 11. It's a name I definitely recognise. And there you go, that's him justifying why he's in there with a lovely goal from the edge of the area for Melton. Why is nobody standing with anybody else? This confuses me. Stand with your mates, for goodness sake. Are people really just coming here on their own? Surely you go down with a bunch of mates and we saw it when I went to Kings Lynn. That video I did at Kings Lynn. I know Kings Lynn's a much higher level than Bourne, but there were pockets of loads of people stood together and then loads of bits where there was nobody stood. There was very few people stood on their own, like I was. It seems that they're all stood on their own here. The people of Bourne don't like each other, it seems. Godbold's in again, and this time Searson Smithard does manage to make the save. I need a way to abbreviate his name, but I don't want to call him the SS. Right, Sitole, forward to Morris. Morris is in, 24th goal of the season. Why have we got all those lovely seats behind that goal not being used? Surely you put them along the side. I've got a lot of things to say about how this football club is set up. It's the only seating we've got in the entire ground. It's behind the goal, and it looks like we don't bother opening it for a normal league game because there's absolutely nobody in it. And surely, if you're an old man, you're an old man pensioner wandering through Abbey Lawn, you finished your petanque game for the afternoon and you want to watch a little bit of football, surely you come and have a sit down. You're not going to go and stand on your own on those terraces. But no, apparently you don't. Right, we need goals from Mata. We want him to finish as top scorer. What do we do to force the team to give him the ball to score goals with? Matsunga now in midfield, loads of space for him to run into, has a shot from range, trying to show that he's justified in his spot in the media at Dream 11, because I think he's the one who replaced Godbold in that Dream 11. So he would consider himself a better player, as we would all consider him a better player. But Cameron Gilchrist showing why he's worth £325 a week. Not only does the defending for Melton, but has scored them a goal that puts them back ahead in the game as well. They're only going to finish 6th though, so it's not that impressive, is it? You're going to play in this league again next year. We're playing up with the big boys next year. Mata is having a terrible game. I think we're going to have to bring Maja on and give him the opportunity to try and... I mean, he's probably only 2 or 3 goals behind for top scorer as well. I guess it's only fair to give him a crack at it as well. Morris is in here. Options inside of him, and there is Mata with his 36th goal of the season. Forget about taking him off. He wants the top scorers award, and I want him to win it as well. He's not quite got up to Mick Powell or Anthony Harris levels with the amount of goals he's scored this season, but to be fair to him, he's also not played a full season. So... And he had a few games out at left wing. He's even played left back a couple of times. I've messed around with him a little bit, but the amount of goals that he's scored has been absolutely superb. We're going to take Akpabire off and bring Maja on for him, and then we'll stick Edwards on in midfield again. And another one of our youngsters, Adam Brown, is the other one left over from episode 1. We're going to get him on as well, and he can come on for Francis, a passing of the torch, a youngster coming on as our one of our oldest players now, because we've got rid of a lot of the Dad's Army Brigade, and I know Francis is only 30, but I think all of the old players are off the pitch at this point. Joyce and Francis were probably the only players in their 30s that we had out there, so it is a very youthful team out there for the last few minutes of the game, which we weren't able to win. We'll say we were unlucky. In reality, we just weren't very good. But did Mata manage to finish as top goal scorer in the United Counties League Division 1? I hope he did. But it's taken its time to get there and show it to us. Come on now. Let's have a little look. No? Well, is this it? Is the game going to break now? Excellent. It didn't. Right. Oh, he did. That goal got him the golden slipper, or whatever you call it, the glass slipper, whatever it's called at this level. Japhet Matter is top scorer in the United Counties League Division 1. 30 goals, 30 league goals, 36 goals in total. As you can see, he is wanted, so we might never see him play for us again. Blackstones are going to try and do to us what we did to them when we took Maja. Hopefully he'll choose to stick around, but that's going to be the story of the next episode, where we try and get through an entire summer. We don't really have a transfer window to do, but it's the 4th of April, and we've got to get all the way through to August. So we've effectively got 4 months to try and keep this squad together, whilst supplementing it in certain areas and not destroying the finances. So it's going to be one of my more interesting transfer windows I've ever done, I think, because I have absolutely no idea what shape it's going to take. Shall I just go there? David Platt. David Platt is caretaker manager of Posh. Is he only 53? Goodness me. Right, we'll wrap that up there. Transfer special coming up in the next episode, which of course will be after Christmas now. So where are we? This is Christmas Eve, isn't it, as I'm releasing this? So happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that kind of stuff. I hope you have a lovely one. Don't drink too much, don't eat too much. Make sure you carry on watching my videos throughout. But thank you for the support again this year, and hopefully you'll remember me after Christmas and come back and watch some more videos then. If you have enjoyed this video though, so please make sure that sentence went wrong. Thumbs ups, please. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.